Ho ho!
I would like our thoughts and prayers to be with the families of the victims, every father, mother, brother, and sister who has lost a family member. We are thinking of them, and we don't want to forget that there are things far more important than football.
Tomorrow, Real Madrid face a team you know very well, AS Monaco. What are the keys to winning tomorrow's match?
Monaco is a team that may not be in their best moment right now, but they are a side that always knows how to compete in Europe and perform at a high level. So in the end, I think we have to play with aggression from the very start, go after them, and show that tomorrow is our day. We want to win to get closer to the top 8 so we can qualify directly and avoid having to play 2 extra playoff matches. It's an important game against a demanding opponent, but we're playing at home at the Bernabéu. Everyone knows that a Champions League night at the Bernabéu is an advantage for us, and we have to make it count.
Speaking about the Bernabeu, I wanted to ask you about the boos from the other day. How did the dressing room experience that, and how do you plan to turn the situation around?
About the whistles, yes, I'll give you my opinion. I understand the fans. Before being a footballer, I was a young fan who watched every match. And when I wasn't happy, what did I do? I complained about the players, or if I was lucky enough to be in the stadium, I would whistle. So I can understand it, because for the fans and for Madridismo, the only way to express their feelings is by going to the stadium and whistling. I understand it because we're not doing things well right now. The only thing I didn't like the other day is this. I understand the whistles, but if they whistle, they should whistle at the whole team. You shouldn't whistle just one player more than the others. It's not the fault of a few players, it's the responsibility of the whole group, the whole team. We're not doing things right as a team, and I believe we have the character and the personality to change that on the pitch. I don't feel that Madridismo is against us. Madridismo is angry, and that's normal. It's up to us to change the situation on the field, win games, play well, and I'm sure they'll be back with us.
You say the Bernabeu should have whistled the whole team, but most of the whistles were directed at Vinícius Jr throughout the 90 minutes.
Of course, I think first of Vini, it's not Vini's fault if we're not playing well right now. It's the responsibility of the whole squad. That's why I spoke about it. The only thing I want to say to Madridismo is not to single out one player and take him out just to whistle him. If you're going to whistle, I understand it completely. Whistle at the entire team. We have to accept that as part of our job, and we do accept it. But we also have to change the situation, and we know that. You can't point at a few players and say it's their fault. No, it's all of us. We have to change this, and we will, because we are Real Madrid players. And at Real Madrid, there are always moments like this, and you have to turn them around.
We saw Vini affected by all of this. How did you see him? Have you spoken with him? How is he doing?
In the end, Vini, like you, like her, like everyone, is a person, a human being. It's normal for it to affect you when people speak badly about you. Sometimes it's fair, sometimes it's not. But Vini is a great player and an incredible person. I'm lucky to know him, I care a lot about him, and I believe that as a team we have to protect him better. I also have to protect him better so that he's not in a position where he feels alone against the crowd. He needs to know that he will never be alone here at Real Madrid. All the players, the entire squad, and the whole club are with him, always. We're going to protect him and take care of him so he can give us his best version. Because when Vini is at his best, he's a top-level player and one of the best in the world.
What would Mbappe do if he were Vinícius? If you were in his position, how would you turn the situation around? How would you change those whistles into applause at the Bernabeu?
I'm not Vini. Ask Vini. If you want, I can go get him and bring him here, right? No, I'm not Vini, and I don't have any advice to give him. Vini is a great player. He arrived at Real Madrid and has lived through all the different stages at the club, so I'm nobody to give him advice. The only thing that is my responsibility and the team's responsibility, as I said before, is to take care of him, protect him, and do everything possible so he feels good and happy. Because we know that when Vini is happy, he's a completely different player.
I imagine you watched the Africa Cup of Nations final. I'd like to know what you think about what happened and whether you've spoken with any of the players. You've also gone through difficult moments with your national team, so maybe you can give us your perspective.
I haven't had the chance to speak with Brahim, but I did speak with Hakimi, and he explained more or less what happened. I know it's a difficult moment for them. It's true that I've also gone through tough moments with my national team. There will always be moments of anger and frustration, but they have to keep working. I know they really wanted to win that title. For example, I came to Real Madrid to win titles too, but you also have to think about people and their feelings. That's why now we have to show support for Brahim and show him all our affection.
Until now, we hadn't really had the chance to ask you about the change of coach. The season started well, with 13 wins in the first 14 matches, but then the team dropped off. There has been talk about many things: possible tensions between the coach and some players, physical preparation. What's your analysis? Why do you think the team fell off like that?
Where did you get that from?
And what differences do you notice between the former coach and the new one?
Who told you there were problems between the coach and some players?
That's what's been said.
Where did you get that?
That's what many media outlets have said.
Really? So what is your question?
The question is, in your opinion, why do you think Xabi Alonso didn't end up succeeding at Real Madrid? What's your diagnosis, and what changes do you notice now with Arbeloa?
No, I don't agree with that. Saying that Xabi Alonso didn't succeed at Real Madrid isn't true. In the end, he left before any titles were decided. He only lost one title, the Spanish Super Cup. In all the other competitions, we were still alive. We were eliminated from the Copa del Rey after Xabi left. For me, Xabi is going to be a great coach. I had an excellent relationship with him and I wish him the best because I really liked his vision of football. He's a coach obsessed with details, with the game, and he understands modern football very well. In the end, what happened is what happened. It was a club decision that has to be respected. Now there's a new coach and we have to help him because it's his first experience as a professional head coach. We are going to give everything so that things go well for Arbeloa and above all for Real Madrid.
I remember some statements you made after a match where you said the coach had to be protected. You were also the first to post a message of support on social media when it was already known that he wouldn't continue. Did you speak with him personally, and do you feel it was unfair that he's no longer the Madrid coach?
Yes, I spoke with him the day the news came out because, as I said, I have a very good relationship with him. We talked about everything, about life and what comes next for him. I wanted to support him a bit because it's never easy when something like this happens. But whether it was fair or unfair is not my responsibility to judge. I'm a Real Madrid player, and with all the affection I have for Xabi Alonso, life is life and football works this way. Now I have to move forward and support my new coach with the same commitment I gave to Xabi. That's the reality of being a footballer at the highest level. I don't think it's useful to waste time discussing whether it was fair or not. It was a club decision, it has to be respected, and the badge of Real Madrid must always come first.
How has this last week been for you, considering you lost the Spanish Super Cup and were eliminated from the Copa del Rey? There's been a lot of noise before and after the last match against Levante.
I don't think I need to say that this hasn't been an easy week. That's obvious. When you are a Real Madrid player, you always have to be ready to face any situation. We have to show character in moments like this and make sure the fans can support us. I know the fans want to support us, but we have to earn that support. We have to keep fighting and competing for all the titles. Tomorrow we have an important Champions League match. We are going to fight until the end and show that, as a team, we can compete and that we are ready to try to win the titles we still have to play for.
The French newspaper L'Equipe has said in recent weeks that you traveled to Saudi Arabia, forcing your knee injury, to help save Xabi Alonso's job. Is that true?
Who said that? L'Equipe. France.
Do I have to comment on everything French journalists say? All right, I'll do it. No. I traveled because I always want to play every match. I'm someone who wants to play every game of the season. Is that good or bad? I don't know. But that's who I am. If I have the chance to play, I'll always try. The club made a plan for me to return for the Super Cup. It wasn't possible to return in time for Atletico. I was very sad to stay behind and watch my teammates compete. They won and reached the final. I wasn't ready to play, but the coach told me to come and support the team. For me, that's completely normal. to come and support your team in such an important match. In cases like this, the individual comes after the team and the team's interests. I tried to play as much as I could. It didn't go well because we didn't win, but now I'm back to help the team and do things right so we can win.
I notice you don't seem very comfortable when we ask about possible problems between the squad and Xabi Alonso, but
No, I'm not going to pretend to be naive, as you say here in Spain. Of course, things happen. That's life at a big club. It happened in Paris, it happens in Madrid, it happens at all big clubs. What I don't like is that many things are said that simply aren't true. Some things are true, some are false, and sometimes people take 10% of the truth and invent 90%. That's not good. Our job is usually to stay quiet and accept it, but when I have the chance to speak, I'll say it. Sometimes that's not right. I know perfectly well that our job is to keep quiet and show things on the pitch, and that's what we're going to do. But since I have the chance to speak now, I'm saying it.
don't you think part of the whistles on Saturday come from a perception that has taken hold, that the squad didn't treat the previous coach well?
It's possible, yes, but that's something you'd have to ask Madridismo, because it's their feeling. They're at home, they listen to journalists who do their job. Some things are true, some are false, but when false things are believed, it's bad for us, because people come to the stadium with ideas already in their heads. That's why I understand the whistles, I understand the frustration. Before I was a player, I was a kid, and I listened to everything that was said on TV, and for me, everything I heard was the truth. So I understand that people form opinions based on what they hear, and sometimes there's a lack of understanding between them and us. Our job is to do things very well so they come back to our side, and so we become, once again, the great family that Real Madrid is, competing for every title.
Jude Bellingham has also been the target of whistles and boos at the stadium. How did you all see that in the dressing room, and how do you think Jude will react tomorrow?
I think tomorrow we'll all react the same way. No one doubts Bellingham's quality. He has incredible quality and enormous potential, especially when he's in good form. For me, he's without any doubt one of the best players in the world. Of course, this is a difficult moment for him, but it's also difficult for all of us. We understand that these things can happen. And as I've said before, and I'll repeat it, this is something we accept because the fans are not happy. But the fans have to treat everyone equally. If they're unhappy, then whistle the whole team. Don't focus on just one player. This isn't Jude's fault or anyone else's. It's the responsibility of the entire group. We all have to find a solution together as a team. I believe we will, and it has to start tomorrow. We won our league match last weekend, and we have to continue like that in the Champions League, because the Champions League is what it is. In the end, if people see that we're working hard and winning matches, they'll come back to our side, this will all be behind us, and we'll laugh about it in the future.
This is the first time you face Monaco as a Real Madrid player. What do you think about your journey, starting your professional career at Monaco and eventually reaching Real Madrid? And how do you see Monaco today?
I can see that I've been able to fulfill a dream, and I still have many dreams left to achieve. As I've always said, and I'll repeat it, it wouldn't have been possible for me to be here today without Monaco. At Monaco, I learned a lot and developed as a professional footballer. Without Monaco, my path would have been very different, and maybe I wouldn't be here today. Honestly, I think it was a great fortune for me to start my career there, because they gave me so much to grow as a player. That's something I'll never forget.